Welcome to Wrestle with Dexter and recap of WWE Raw on November 13. WWE is still working towards Survivor Series on November 25, but this week's show had plenty to keep fans occupied until then. Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes were looking to regain the tag team titles when they took on Finn Balor and Damian Priest of the Judgment Day. We also saw matches such as Ivar vs The Miz and Otis vs Shinsuke Nakamura. Let's take a look at these contests and everything else that happened on Red Brand this week. After a video recapped some of the recent events surrounding the world title, Cody Rhodes made his way to the ring. He said he and Jey Uso were going to regain the tag team titles before talking about War Games and introducing his team. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins had a little confrontation in ring before Judgment Day came out to interrupt. They traded the usual insults while Judgment Day implied that Rhodes and his team would never be able to get along. Rollins yelled at everyone about talking too much and challenged Teddy McDonagh and Dominic Mysterio to face himself and Sami Zayn, which was made official during the break. The match got going as soon as we returned from the break. This was a pretty standard tag match for the story being told. Neither of these duos work as a tag team regularly, but both players showed some decent chemistry. Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins did a great job giving the crowd plenty of moments to cheer, and McDonagh and Mysterio sold all of their offense well. This match won't matter in the grand scheme of things, but it gave the crowd a chance to see a couple of WWE's top stars do what they do best. The opening segment and match took up a combined total of over 35 minutes at the top of the show. When it looked like Rollins was about to win, Rhea Ripley arrived with Finn Balor and Damian Priest to cause a disqualification. Uso and Rhodes showed up to turn into a huge brawl. Adam Pearce flipped out and said everyone who isn't in the tag team title match later in the show is banned from the arena. Result was Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins defeated Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonagh by disqualification. After reviewing all this, I think this segment deserved a negative B grade. Next up, we have Otis vs Shinsuke Nakamura. Last week, Shinsuke Nakamura picked up a win over Akira Tozawa. This week, he had a chance to face one of Tozawa's Alpha Academy allies, Otis. The powerhouse took control early and this had out a lot of punishment. He even did one of Nakamura's own moves when he stomped on him in the corner repeatedly. It took quite some of time for Nakamura to get the upper hand. Otis won in control for the majority of this match and even countered the Kinshaw once. It took 3 Kinshaws to finally put him down for 3 count. This match was the mostly one-sided and made Otis look like a beast. Judging by how it ended, it looked like Gable will likely have a match with Otis soon. Even though this wasn't the most exciting performance, it did a job of making both men look strong. After reviewing this segment deserves a C+ grade. Next up is Tommaso Ciampa vs Kaiser. These two men have had many matches over the years, so they know each other very well. They used their established chemistry to deliver a solid performance that highlighted both of their strengths. Even though Vince was ejected, he showed back up to hit Gargano with a running kick. The distraction allowed Kaiser to roll Ciampa up for the pin. The ending was a bit contrived, but the match as whole was congruent. Result was Kaiser defeated Tommaso Ciampa. This segment according to me deserves a grade B. The Miz vs Ivar. Last week, Fatal 4 for Intercontinental title number 1 contenders match ended with The Miz earning himself a title shot. But the way it was supposed to end was Ivar and Miz getting the pin at the same time. Ivar attacked The Miz after it was over to set them for this match, which likely would have been for the title shot had last week's match ended as intended. The Miz did a good job playing the underdog against his much larger opponent. Whenever he works as a babyface, he incorporates moves he don't usually use to get little pops from the crowd. Bronson Reed came out to have a closer look at the match after he got into an argument with Ivar earlier in the show. This match was another match that made sense from a storyline perspective but did little to excite the live crowd at first. The Miz working as a babyface is going to take some time to get used to, so he isn't getting universally positive reactions yet. The action between the ropes was solid and the crowd was getting more into the match as it progressed. The Miz ended up getting the win by using the ropes for leverage. Reed attacked Ivar after it was over and hit the Tsunami. The result was The Miz defeated Ivar. according to me, this segment deserved a negative B grade. Let's talk about the main event, Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso for the Tag Team Championship. The main event of this week's show was a tag title match with Balor and Priest defending against Uso and Cody Rhodes. WWE gave this match the final 35 minutes of the show with entrances included, so they had plenty of time to make sure this was the highlight of the night. Uso and Balor started for their team with a furious lockup. The Prince scored the first takedown, but Juicy Uso was right back to his feet. The quickly devolved into brawl with all four men. With these four men involved, it's almost a foregone conclusion that this match was good. They are all veterans who have held dozens of titles across multiple promotions, so the main event was in good hands. The only downside to this match was that the outcome was predictable, but how we got there might have been surprising to some. Drew McIntyre showed up and hit Uso with a Claymore kick, while the ref was distracted to give Judgment Day an easy path to win. Result was Judgment Day defeated Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes to retain the tag team titles. This segment deserves a B positive grade. The final word. This week's episode of Raw wasn't exactly a strong episode, but it did its job of building up most feuds that will make up Survivor Series card. The best match on this show was the main event, but the opening tag match and Kaiser vs Ciampa were both enjoyable too. A few interesting possibilities were set up throughout the show, including Drew McIntyre joining Judgment Day for Survivor Series and a potential Ivor vs Bronson Reed showdown. War Game is always a fun stipulation for WWE, so this year's Survivor Series should be a memorable pay-per-view that hopefully includes a few surprises. Overall, this Raw deserved a grade C positive. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. I'll see you guys into the next video. Until then, take care and peace.